All right, welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David,
Mine, Gary.
and Gary's going to be the grumpy one now. In an incredible role reversal. Take it
Yeah,
away, Grumpy Garv.
yeah. I was just telling Dave before we started that there's a representative in Georgia. I'm assuming he's a House of Representatives.
Is he on your mind?
Yes, he's on my mind. All right. I like to have a word with him outside. Um, he what he basically was saying that kids who participate in the school lunch program are sponging off the government. And here's the quote.
Yes, because when one thinks of a welfare fraud, one often thinks of a 6-year-old
Oh yeah,
sponging off the
right.
government as the epitome of welfare fraud. But carry on.
Some 14-year-old having a school lunch is considered welfare fraud, I guess. Here's this quote. How many people got their start in fast food restaurants when they were kids versus giving a blanket rule that gives all kids lunches in high school who are capable of going out and actually getting a job and doing something that actually makes them have value? Uh, when you talk about school lunches, hey, I worked my way through high school, McCormick said. I don't know about you, but I worked before I was even 13 years old. I was picking berries in the field before child labor laws precluded that. He goes on later on to say about how when he was growing up, he picked his berries, he had a paper route, yada yada yada. I was telling Dave, I was kind of like, is this guy had his head buried in the sand for the last 35 years? No one. And I mean, there's not a kid on the planet that's delivering a paper anymore. It's some guy driving around in his car.
Weaving around at 4:30 in the morning throughout the neighborhood, throwing papers on your driveway.
Matter of fact, I met the guy that delivers the paper in my neighborhood. He's a really nice guy. He's got 2 kids in college, and he's driving around in his Camry tossing papers. He's got 4 different newspapers that he's delivering. He's delivering, like the Chronicle. He's delivering the Wall Street Journal. He's delivering probably the Merc. It's just, he was telling me how all the papers, just like, holy Christ, how do you keep it straight? And then, and newspapers, there's such a thing these days. We used to get the Chronicle when we were growing up, and it was
San Francisco Chronicle for those wondering.
Yeah, San Francisco. Thank you. Which it was a pretty hefty, meaty newspaper Monday through Saturday.
Good for killing flies, and on Sundays you could storm castle doors with it.
Oh yeah, the thing was huge. It was like the width of a tree trunk. Dave would grab the front, I'd grab the back, and we breached the front door.
George! We had fun storming the castle.
But it's just like, I was griping Dave. He's like, they're so damn heartless. My kids had school lunches because of COVID and all that. They didn't necessarily participate in it, but it's nice to know it's there if they're hungry.
Sure.
Because they're too damn lazy to make their own lunch sometimes. But
I worked my way through school. We didn't have the polio vaccine when I was a boy. Nobody should have it.
Yes,
Student loan debt? I worked my way through student loan debt. So should you.
God, what I was saying was that, with kids, it's a lot easier to learn if you're not hungry, if you're not worried about where the food is.
Tim Walz is that's his exact justification.
God, give the kids a chance.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, for show of hands here, who wants a 6-year-old filling out their order at In-N-Out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they could right now. They could barely resist eating paste. What in God's name makes you think they're going to get your double fries and your chocolate shake in there without making a mess of everything?
Yeah, so In-N-Out is kind of a local burger place. It might not be too far east of Nevada.
It's very popular.
Yeah, it's a very.
I'm not exactly sure why, but it's very popular.
All 3 of my kids, that was their first job, was working at In-N-Out.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because they're talking about why they're sponging off of free lunches. It's like you have to be like 15 and a half to get a work permit or 16 or something like that.
Those pesky child labor laws, we should just get rid of them.
I know, right?
Think of all the money we'd save on school lunches.
So the purpose of this reading, 5 minutes into it, is more as we see Trump and the Trump administration just absolutely lay an assault on the government agencies that regulate food, healthcare, helping marginalized communities, poor people, all sorts of things. They're just all under assault by the Trump administration. How are these agencies going to hold up through 2025 through all these assaults?
Yep.
So that's where I want to go with it.
Good.
I'm gonna. I don't know. I'll let you. You're all spicy. I'll let you start off on that. What's the general energy of government agencies under assault by the Trump administration, and do it for entertainment purposes only?
Yeah, entertainment purposes only. 2025. What's the energy around these?
Oh, I see the bottom card. It was amazing. Don't you dare change it.
I won't change it.
Okay, good.
Punky just came in. He's been roaming the neighborhood all day. Okay. Foundation of the reading is Seven of Swords. They're watching all their resources get pulled away from them. This could also be, Trump is, the shiny object. Look at the dancing monkey, and while we're all looking at the dancing monkey, they're actually trying to get away with stuff while our heads are turned. It's the proverbial squirrel, and everyone turns and looks for the squirrel.
Yeah. There's a general vibe with this administration. They're just seeing what can they get away with.
Exactly.
Right, as they assault these agencies.
The cross is the heartbreak and betrayal. These are important programs. I mean, these are things that actually make America great. They don't make us a welfare state. They make us compassionate. They give people a chance. God. Underneath it, the Queen of Cups, keeping a lid on your emotions, keeping your head down, doing your job. A lot of them, they really don't have a lot of ability to push back. A lot of this has got to happen in the courts, frankly.
Yeah. I got stiff upper lip. Very British stiff upper lip. It's yeah.
In the past, we got the Two of Cups agreements that were made. This is serving the people that you care about, looking after them, looking after their needs. Current energy is a sword, Ace of Swords. Trump said he was going to do it, and he's doing it. We were talking about possibly do a reading on when is MAGA going to really find out where it's going to start making a difference. These are the things that are going to start the ball rolling. You're starting to see stories. Just the excuse me. You're seeing like the edge stories. People are just starting to figure out on the MAGA side, and either you have like Adam Mockler or some of these TikToks where they're showing interviews with these people, or they're highlighting these rants these people are putting on TikTok about. They're starting to figure out that what they thought they were going to get and what they're actually getting are two very different things. One thing he was going to do, the truth is out there. So how are the agencies going to get through? They've got their truth. The sun is going to shine, and things are going to start getting better. That's encouraging. The lesson to be learned: Trump lives for chaos. He's just trying everything he can, and he's basically taking the position of, I am going to do whatever the hell I want. It's up to you to tell me that I can't do it. And even if you tell me I can't do it, you better have some teeth. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on doing it until someone forces me to stop.
He's like a snotty child. Mm-hmm. Now, Donald, stop doing that. I'm going to do what I want to.
It's my right.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem is that who's got the backhand for him? Not that we're advocating violence or anything. Okay, maybe a little.
In his case, we'll make exceptions.
Yeah, exactly. Who's got the bowl? Okay, who's got the bowl of mashed potatoes to dump on his head and humiliate him? Because
like a good dose of humiliation to kind of take the wind out of your sails, right?
Yeah.
A wooden spoon or a belt when you can have a bowl of mashed potatoes at hand.
Yeah, so and I agree with Gary on this one that it's going to be the courts that slow things down, but if you don't, and the problem is you have to push back on everything because they'll take anything that you give, they're going to take.
Yep.
So if they assault you on 10 things and you give up on 2 of them, they'll take that 2 and they'll still try for 3 and 4. And you can't give in because they will take anything you give and then just come back another time to take even more. I'm gonna read on the courts. Will the courts provide protection and deterrence for these assaults on our government agencies? Will these be effective? Will the courts be effective in protecting and deterring the assaults?
Yeah, let's make that screen big.
Let me remove. If I remove you, then it will be big the whole entire time. Okay, let's see. Where's my cursor? Oh,
you better not change that bottom card.
All right. Well, the courts protect. Judgment versus 10 of swords versus the Argy Bargy card. Okay. There's going to be a lot of battling in the courts as the courts make decisions. I think they're going to bring an end to a lot of the shenanigans that are going on here. The problem is it takes time. It takes time while the fighting is happening. The court cases are being filed. They're going to slowly progress through the court systems. Honestly, I think the courts are going to do fine. They're going to look at the letter of the law and basically say you can't do this as much as you want to. The courts are right on it, but there's just this governmental arrogance that goes around. Basically, Trump and company know what they're doing is illegal. They just don't care.
Yeah.
And these 8 agencies are going to win. The agencies will win. The law's on their side. The agencies win in the end. But it's what's the gift here?
He wants to take us backwards.
Yeah, and that's what I think that's a way to look at it. It's that basically the agencies are going to win, but it's like we're going backwards in time. We're going back to the 50s. We just don't know what century we're going to land on. So I would expect that, generally speaking, most of the stuff that the administration is doing isn't going to work, but it's putting a lot of pressure on the agencies, and you'll have people leaving. You'll have people discouraged. It's going to make them less effective. It's not strengthening them. That's the problem. Is it's not strengthening them because they're not. The assaults aren't there to help them. The assaults are there to take them down.
Yeah.
And pretty much, and you'll keep hearing this theme. The Republicans want to privatize everything because that's how you build an oligarchy. Why let the school lunch program go through? There's a whole bunch of money in school lunch programs. So if you privatize it and run it like a business, well, we could do it more efficiently. In other words, some sociopathic CEO can make millions of dollars on the school lunch program by selling it out to his buddies to provide the food and then getting kickbacks for it. And yeah. This will not lead to the collapse of the government, but it's going to be buffeting it while the courts sort it out. I guess maybe the 6 of Cups in the end is, by the time the courts get through all this, the worst of it's over. The Trump administration may not even be there by the time everything plays through in the courts. The problem is the short-term capitulations and compromises that are made.
Yeah, when I was looking at the cards, you got the smug merchant on the lesson to be learned. Yeah, the current situation was the 9 of Cups. I think what he's doing is he's just, even though it's crazy and misleading, he's it's like you're saying, he's flooding the courts, and that's what he's trying to do is just create this this chaos, right? The underlying chaos. And he's sitting back smug as hell because this is exactly what he wants. He wants to stir the pot. He doesn't necessarily want to win. He just wants to see what he can get away with.
Yeah, while all the confusion's going on, he's the one sneaking a second donut out of the off the grease when nobody's looking.
Yeah, privatization makes everything better.
Clearly.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Because I mean, look how well it worked for Putin.
Exactly.
the corrupt all their very advanced military weaponry and hardened defenses. That's why I was watching a thing on Ukraine, and they kind of made their incursion into Russia, and the governor in that section of Russia, I might be using the wrong title for him, but he was basically saying, "Oh yeah, we spent all this money to harden the defenses, and we keep improving our defensive situation." He just embezzled it all.
Yeah, of course.
And the Ukrainians just marched right in. I mean, it's just, and they can't get, and the Russians can't dislodge them down.
Yep.
They're in there, they're defending, they're holding the ground, and it's embarrassing to Putin, but it's a lesson for us.
Unfortunately, it's where we're going to be 30 or 40 years from now if we don't get Trump and the GOP out of positions of power, because they will turn this country into an autocracy, an oligarchy, and a kleptocracy in short order. Russia's shown us the blueprint, the roadmap on how to do that, and you can see what the consequences are.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you want to read on government agencies?
Just a talking point. They were offering, and Dave and I were talking about this.
Oh God.
Elon had put out, I guess Elon at Twitter had put out a severance package, and they basically took his email, put it on government letterhead, and sent it out to the government workers, the federal workers, all throughout the United States, saying, "Hey, if you resign your position, we'll give you 8 months severance and full benefits, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to work anymore. But if you do choose to stay, we expect you to come into work 5 days a week, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah, the title, by the way, the title of the subject line is Fork in the Road. That's what was given to the government workers, and that is the exact same title they gave to Twitter users a couple of years ago when Elon bought it out.
Yeah, so guess who came up with this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And what Dave was saying was, Congress is pushing back, saying we didn't appropriate 8 months severance and full benefits for all these workers so that they can not work.
Right.
There's certain procedures you need to follow, and you have to appropriate the funds. Does the government have the funds? Sure, but unless you appropriate them, you cannot spend them.
Right.
It's kind of like
it falls into, well, we're going to do it anyway. So who's got us? And it's right now it has to be the courts. It'd be nice if some GOP leaders stepped up. Looking at you, Mitch McConnell. But hey, spineless jellyfish are what spineless jellyfish are.
Yeah. And there has been some pushback in Congress because the serious Congress people understand that, passing the budget is one of their key jobs that they do. And if you give that responsibility over to the executive branch, what do we have you around for? Why do we need you?
Well, it's not like the GOP in the House ever got a budget put together.
It's just
been resolutions.
Shit show since they've been in charge of the House.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a real treat to see what they come up with in the next few days to next week or so when they finally reveal what their budget's going to be.
Yeah.
All right. Again, is there anything else you want to read on? Or are we going to end this?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video and supporting our channel. Please support your local government agency so that they might need severance packages, or they might find a fork in the road without a spoon and a knife to go with it.
Yes. Give us a thumbs up if you like these. Subscribe. We put out a new video every night at midnight. Leave a comment. I read them all, and I respond to many. And we give you a secret card. Today's secret card is the 10 of Pentacles. Now you've completely.
We give you something other twin channels don't give you, and those are house cheetahs.
Yes.
Put me down. Meow, put me down.
Ten of Pentacles is, it's about legacy. It's about the end of an era, if you will. Hopefully, this is the end of the oligarchy era for us, and we can actually start becoming more and more compassionate. We're not there yet, but damn it, let's hope we get there.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care.